All right, so who were the Grimm brothers? Chapter 7, The Best Years. For the next 13 years, Jacob and William worked at the library and castle together. These were some of the most productive and happy years of their lives. William continued to edit the fairy tales, but both brothers turned to other projects. In 1816, William published 2 editions of German legends, a collection of stories rooted in history. Neither of them became as popular as the fairy tales. Jacob began studying the history of German language. In 1819, he published the German Grammar. The book traced the development of German languages. This had never been done before. People knew that languages such as French, Spanish, Italian, and Latin were connected to one another, but Jacob proved that German, Greek, and even Sanskrit, a language once spoken in parts of India, were also connected to French and Spanish. Jacob also discovered that words follow patterns when they change from language to language. This rule is called Grimm's law. It explained why words such as the English word mother and the German word Mutter were so similar. Many important thinkers consider this to be Jacob's most important contribution to the study of language. Welcome, Penny. Jacob's boss did not appreciate his work. In fact, when he heard about German grammar, he got angry. He worried that Jacob was neglecting his job in the library to write extras. But scholars and historians found Jacob's work very interesting. So did ordinary people. German grammar became a national bestseller. In fact, it sold better than the fairy tales. Within a year, Jacob began working on the next edition. In 1823, a man named Edgar Taylor translated the Grimm's fairy tales into English and called it German Popular Stories. For the first time, the stories were illustrated. Taylor had asked a famous British cartoonist, George Cruikshank, to help bring the tales to life. The book sold very well and spread the brothers' fame even further. The success of the English fairy tales inspired Jacob and William to add illustrations to their books. Their brother Ludwig had become a well-known painter in Germany. In 1825, they published a new edition of tales with a picture by Ludwig. That same year, William married Dorothea Wilde. Dorothea's family had contributed many fairy tales when William was first collecting them. For 14 years, Dorothea and William had been close friends. The newlyweds asked Jacob to come and live with them. A year later, in 1826, Dorothea gave birth to her and William's first child. They named him Jacob. But within the year, the baby became ill and died. William was heartbroken. 2 years later, in 1828, Dorothea had a second son, Herman. Jacob and William loved living and working in Castle. They took long walks every afternoon and had plenty of time to read and write. But in 1829, they were passed over for better jobs, so the Grimms accepted jobs at the University of Göttingen in the province of Hanover. Jacob was to be a professor, and both he and William would work in the library. The brothers' quiet and productive years in Castle had come to an end. Oh, that's too bad, though. All right, chapter 8 tomorrow.